Welcome to the Wander Podcast. I'm your host, Gracie Hinds. If you happen to be new here, we're a podcast and media platform dedicated to sharing the stories of creatives, athletes, and explorers who make up the outdoor space. Today, I'm chatting with Nicole, a photographer who has experience in trail running, climbing, expedition, and commercial shooting. In this conversation, we get into her photo background, the production company she started, choosing to move into the freelance space, a failed Knowles experience, traveling and finding meaning in experiences, people that have inspired her, her favorite projects from the year, and her hopes, goals, and dreams in this space. It's always fun when I get to chat with a friend on the podcast and just lean into a bit more of the spontaneous conversation. And Nicole is somebody that I so respect in both her ambition and the work she produces. I would highly recommend going and checking out her Instagram, which is going to be linked in the show notes. And in other Wander news, we are buying a round of hoodies. I think I mentioned this in the last podcast, but it's really happening. And if you're all interested in grabbing one of these, shoot us a DM on Instagram, just Wander Women's Collective. And we are going to be selling them for $45. And all of these purchases go directly to making this podcast possible. And also reviews. Reviews go a long ways. So if you would like to review us, that would be epic, or send an episode that you enjoyed to a friend. Without further ado, here's today's conversation, and I hope that you enjoy it. To kick it off, my favorite beginning question is, can you introduce yourself and tell people what you spend your time doing?
That's a great question. Cool. My name's Nicole Giampietro. I'm an adventure photographer, specialized in action sports and like the commercial space. What I like to spend my time doing outside of photography is a lot of climbing, running, and skiing, anything outdoors, river surfing, you name it. I'm doing it. I kind of live in my Forerunner right now, so I'm bouncing around everywhere. And yeah, that's kind of it.
Okay, wait, river surfing. I don't feel like I've heard about that one yet.
Yes, it's another hobby just added to the list.
Mm-hmm. How did you get into that, though? I feel like it's a bit random and niche, but there
random. Sorry, you go.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, like, there are some great cities that have, like, just, like, pristine river surfing locations, so it kind of makes sense, but it is random.
Yeah, it's more random because I got into it in Montana. So, I lived in Bozeman for 3 years, so while I was there, you can, like, surf, I think it's the Yellowstone, but it's, like, pretty hard to find and get to. You kind of have to, like, know people, and so I was lucky enough to have friends that, like, knew the local spots. And a lot of these spots are, like, on private farmland, so you have to, like, know the owner. So you have to, like, text the owner and be like, yo, I'm coming in to come surf. Yeah, so it's actually pretty cool. So I just, like, got thrust into it via friends and then did it for a couple years. And then being back in Colorado, I haven't really touched in it a bit. But, yeah, it's so fun.
Got it. Well, wait, so those are not, like, if it's, like, on somebody's private land, is it still something that they've, like, built up?
No, so this is, like, natural.
Whoa.
Yeah, so most of the stuff you see, like, in Bend and where else? There's, like, Salida in Colorado. That's all, like, man-made. They, like, put in a little contraption to make a wave. This is, like, based on the flows. So you have to, like, read flow charts to see, like, when certain waves will be coming in. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty sick. And then, like, some of them you're, like, paddling in. So, like, the bend waves, that stuff, you're just, like, on the side, right? You just jump right in. This is sick because some of them you're, like, actually, like, timing it, and you're, like, jumping in, you're, like, wading down, and then you're paddling, like, real surfing.
That's so sick. Okay,
it's really
I don't even think I really, like, I think I've thought about that being a real thing, but I don't think I realized that that is, okay, that's cool. I'm gonna have to put that on my list of things to do.
It's hard, though. It's, like, really humbling. But once you get it, it's, like, a blast. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of how surfing goes, too.
Yes, the most humbling sport there is.
It really is. And it takes so long to, like, get back into it and, like, feel confident again.
Mm-hmm. And the best thing about river surfing, though, is, like, your time on the wave is, like, so long compared to, you know, you're just stuck in there. So your reps are longer, which is really fun.
Do you want to give people kind of just, like, a little bit of a kind of, like, background of how you have taken your photo journey?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like it's pretty open and broad to start wherever and whenever.
Okay. The classic story of, like, having a GoPro when I was, like, 13. That's me. So I, like, started in video a little bit. I would just, like, take GoPros on, like, family vacations. And then I did this, like, really cool class senior of high school. So instead of, like, having a full schedule my last semester I had like 2 classes and then it was like open. So I had like an internship, I think a personal project. I had to read like 5 books and then had to volunteer for 20 hours. So in that, my personal project was like filmmaking. So I like made a bunch of little videos, and then yeah, I went to college, didn't study it, and I just like picked up a camera through friends, but was never. I honestly didn't like it. I was like, my friends were way better at it. I would just like model for them, and I was not a big fan of photography. I just did it like here and there, and then I did a Knowles course to Patagonia, Chile. Yeah, and I brought a little point and shoot with me. And I was like, oh my God, this is like really fun. And I came back with like decent images. And so after that, I was like, oh, I wonder if I can make a career out of this. I graduated college, and then instead of getting a real job, moved to Bozeman with a friend I had just met to like start a production company, and then just went like full freelance right out the gate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I realized that that was like the whole time lineation of how that all worked out and how it was like immediately into the production company as well. What
Mhm.
was it? Well, A, like, why did you do the Knowles thing? I'm curious about that whole experience because I feel like that
Mhm.
sounds intense. And then did you like when you brought the camera with you, like, was there a lot of thought and intention behind it? Or was it kind of just like when you got back, you were like, oh, these are kind of sick?
Yeah, I mean, I think as a like growing up, I'd always wanted to be like a National Geographic photographer, but I was
Mm-hmm.
like, there's no way that's possible. And yeah, I brought this like little small point and shoot to just like try it out to see if that's like something I wanted to do. So yeah, there was intention behind it, and I made like a little like 2 3 minute video out of it, and I thought it was so sick at the time, and that's kind of like when I started to fall in love with the process of photography and like the art behind it. I think being bad for a while, I just like didn't like it, and then once I like got over that hump of like, oh, these are cool, I kind of was like, sweet, let's try this out. What was your other question with Knowles?
Well, how was the Knowles experience, like, as a whole? Like, what made you decide to do it?
It's actually a funny story. I got expelled, long story short,
What?
with like 12 others. I think it was like the biggest Knowles expulsion in their like history.
Okay, you're gonna have to go into this whole story now.
Yeah, crazy. Why did I do it? Everyone I like went to college with was going abroad. So I was like, cool, let's
Okay.
I wanted to be more outdoorsy, and that kind of felt like the gateway. But the story is crazy. Yeah, there was like 20 of us. We had just gone sea kayaking in Patagonia. We were transferring over to the mountaineering section, so like we're in this like little cool town called Tortel.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, let's just preface: I was of drinking age in I think I was like 19 or 20. The drinking age was 18, and everyone had like come together. And of course, us being young college kids, we all like just bought a bunch of alcohol. And there's like a pretty big like no tolerance like drinking policy with Knowles. And so yeah, one night we all had just like a campfire and we're drinking. But like the crazy part is I had like one sip of wine. I
Mm-hmm.
had mono at the time, so I was like, you know what? Like I don't want to get more sick. I'm just like not gonna. So, anyways, we get away with it. It's like 2 days later. This one kid gets expelled because he was a nuisance on the other sections.
Oh
So we had to
no.
drive like 6 hours back with the instructors.
Yeah.
And on the way back, he snitched on all of us.
Oh my gosh.
And so then it was like the night before we were supposed to leave to go mountaineering. Like we are supposed to wake up at like 4 a.m. And at like 8 p.m., they call like an emergency meeting. And they're like, we know you guys have been drinking. Like, here's a sticky note. Write down, like, if you were drinking and who was drinking. Crazy. And so, like, I can't lie to save my life. So I like, was like, I wrote my name. And then I thought I was going to get, like, we were going to get out of it because I was like, I had a sip of wine. I was just being honest. And no, they expelled 12 of us of the 20.
How much left of the semester did you have?
I had 40 more days. So it's supposed to be like 30 days of
Whoa.
mountaineering and then a 10-day, like, group solo kind of backpacking trip. And then, yeah, so kind of wild. It is what it is, though. Like, I stayed in Patagonia and, like, traveled with my friend Izzy,
Mm-hmm.
who I met Maddie through, who I started that production company with. So it's like,
It all worked out.
it all worked out. Yeah, funny story too.
Yeah. Yeah. How was Patagonia though? When you were just doing the travel afterwards, did you have any goals or was it kind of just bop around and see what's up?
No, we were kind of just like loosely traveling, so it was like 4 or 5 of us in total, and all of our parents let us stay. So we like went to this little um, surf town, and like worked at a hostel. But it was like right during COVID, so eventually we all just like got kicked out of there. But Patagonia is like, oh my god, have you been there? It's like the sickest
I
spot.
have not. Yeah, it seems incredible. It's like on my to-do list for, I don't know, I've been bouncing around for this winter, but I'm not quite sure yet. TBD.
Hmm.
It seems amazing. But it's like one of those places that I'm like, if I go, I want to be there for a month at
Yeah,
least, you know? And so
maybe more because it's
out.
so
I
big.
know. I
Yeah,
know. So I think kind of TBD with the way things work out the rest of this year.
cool. Yeah, it's like the coolest spot I've ever been. It's like so vast and it feels like pretty untamed compared to like a lot of these other places in the world. Like it
Mhm.
still feels like undiscovered, which is
Yeah.
pretty cool. Hmm.
And you don't have a lot of things that can like eat you in Patagonia either, right?
I mean, I think there's like pumas in the hills, but I don't think they attack people.
See, that's the thing where like I think about that and I'm like, that's so cool because it's like I've been up in Alaska and you're like, that's a bear right there. I'm going to get eaten by that bear.
And
Like,
you're like scared for your life.
yeah, and so it's like, oh, I don't want to just like go run up that ridge line because there's going to be like a family of bears that's right there. Or like, oh, a mountain lion's going to come attack me. So yeah, that's what I really like about the idea of Patagonia. Like
Yeah,
there's
it's nice.
lot less things to eat you. Yeah.
Totally.
Mhm.
Yeah, when we were there, I think the only like threat was like sea lions.
Oh, yeah. Those can get a little bit
They
aggro.
get aggressive. Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty funny though. Knowles wrap up.
Not my proudest moment, okay?
So then was it that so you got back and then did you have any more school after that or was it like you got back and then jumped into production company?
No, my parents made me make a deal with them because it was a full gap semester, so I didn't go to school. They said that if I went on this trip, I had to finish school, so I had a full year left.
Okay, got
Uh
it.
huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I went to school, finished school, and then a year after started the production company.
Yeah. Okay, do you want to jump into the story of like a bit of the production company and kind of its origins and some fun projects with that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that started, like I said, I met my friend Izzy during COVID or on that Knowles trip, and during COVID, her and her friend Maddie were like just traveling in a little travel trailer, and because school was online, I just like booked it to meet Izzy, and that's where I ended up meeting Maddie for like 4 days. That was it. But she did like a lot of drone stuff, video stuff. We kind of just like hit it off instantly. And then I didn't talk to Maddie for like 9 months to a year. And I just get this like random Instagram DM that's like, hey dude. No, I think it was like on Snapchat when Snapchat was like a thing. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, hey, like you do photo stuff, I do video stuff. Like, do you want to just like move to Bozeman and like start a production company? And I naively was like, sure. So like moved out to Bozeman with Maddie. Never like had spent more than 4 days with her. Moved in together, and then just kind of like started it from there. So that was like 3.5, 4 years ago. Um, yeah, and then we kind of had like similar goals at the time of like let's just do like adventure stuff and like anything outdoor related. And yeah, it's no longer we don't have it anymore, but it was like a really good place to like grow and learn in the industry, like having someone by your side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, and how are you guys like getting some of your like first initial clients? Because had you been doing kind of any freelance stuff by yourself before then?
No, so that was like yeah, that was a huge learning curve. That was the first time I had like taken photography seriously and like had tried to like sell my services. So for a while it was a lot of like cold emails and like, not hearing anything, just like crickets for a really long time. And also my photo sucked. So like it was really hard to sell when like my photography and our videography skills were just like not up to par.
Mm-hmm.
So it was pretty scrappy for the first couple of years, and then eventually, I think like probably 2 years in, like things started to pick up. We worked with Stance. That was like our first big like client. I think we had to make like 3 reels, and they just like let us do anything. It was sweet. I think we like went ice climbing, highlining, and we did something else. We're like, oh, this is awesome, and they paid us. Let's go. And then what some other projects? We did like a pretty big campaign for Meryl and Janji that ended up in REI,
Okay.
and that was just like word of mouth.
Mm-hmm.
So that was pretty sweet. But yeah, it was pretty slow, and that's part of the reason I like decided to go separate ways from it.
Mm-hmm. During like the first couple of years, what do you feel like got you and like really pushed you into having your photos get better? Like to the point where you were like, these are really good.
I'm a perfectionist. So yeah, I'm like really critical on my work. So like I didn't share my work probably like I started sharing my work like a year and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
That's like when I first started like posting because I was so harsh on it. So I think that's just like pushed me to be better is because I have like such high standards for myself in like every aspect of life. So when my photos were shit
Mm-hmm.
and I was embarrassed to post them, I was like, okay, cool, can I make this better? Yeah, and it was a lot of just like like learning by like looking at people I liked on Instagram and just like
Mm-hmm.
studying like how they do that. And then eventually like it just like clicked and they just kept getting better and better. I'm not really sure what I did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, that's how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and just like time and time and time, and it's like then you mess around with something else, and it's like, oh, okay, cool. But yeah, the perfectionism though. Do you feel like that's something that like hinders you at all, or
Oh
is
my
that
god.
yeah?
Yes. The amount of work I'm sitting on right now is like insane because it's like not perfect. So it's like really hard for me to get projects out. So I'm like slow. I'm like really slow at editing. Like some projects will take someone 2 days to edit. For me, it takes like 3 weeks. And I'm so like particular about how I present my work on my Instagram. And so that hinders it because like I'll play around with things for like 2 weeks. If it doesn't look good, I'll just like keep messing around. So yeah, it has its perks, but it also has its drawbacks.
Well, I was gonna say, I mean, like that's what's so fun about your Instagram is it like is such a beautiful portfolio of work
Thank you.
in comparison to like some people where like it's it's just like okay I'm just chucking my photos up here, which is fine and great and totally dependent on the kind of work that you're doing too, where I think like there's also a bit of a difference in like if you're doing something that's like I literally just need to get pictures of this person at like a running race or whatever versus like this is a commercial thing and like there's a lot more intention behind it, and like the way that you present it just like gives it I feel like its full value's worth, so
Mm-hmm.
that's cool. I think
Thank you.
it looks really good, and it also just totally stands out too. It's like okay wow, like she takes time to do this.
I appreciate that. Yeah, because sometimes I'm like, wow, I just spent like 3 weeks on an Instagram post. Like, was it worth it? I don't know. But at the end of the day, it's like art, and if I'm proud of showing it, then I'm gonna keep producing the same similar things. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay, so back to the production company. So you guys decide we're gonna go separate ways. Also, it's funny. I think now Maddie's like Instagram like van because I don't know anything about her, but her like van videos like keep showing up on my like reels page.
Shut up. That's so good.
I don't know if she like if those are like what she's posting right now or if she posted
Yeah.
them a while ago, but
Mhm.
yeah, they're sick. I was like, oh, that's Nicole.
Guest appearance.
Yeah. But yeah, so you guys decide to go separate ways, and then what were you kind of thinking after that point? Were you like, I need to like how did you kind of go about
Hmm.
work in general?
Yeah, that was like so that happened probably what 6, 7 months ago, and that was like a pretty big like pivot in my career life. Like everything felt so overwhelming at the time because like Maddie and I are like best friends at the end of the day, and
Mhm.
so when that came crashing down, it felt like my whole world just was like whoa, like I couldn't see out of it. Um, but at the end of the day, it was like I think one of the best decisions for the both of us because we just like want different things with our photography and videography. So yeah, it was like really pivotal for me to like do my own thing and like put my own energy into like exactly what I wanted to be doing. But yeah, at the time it was like really hard, but 6 months later I'm like couldn't be happier. Because I'm putting my energy where I want it to be put. But yeah, we're just doing different things, and I think Maddie's psyched on what she's doing. I'm psyched on what I'm doing, and it's like been pretty cool just to be friends again, because that was like bleeding over into our business. Having a business with your friend is really hard.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I definitely learned a lot, but like having just a friendship without the business is like a beautiful thing.
Well, and like I feel like you've been doing so many cool things the last couple of months as well. Of just like,
Yeah.
yeah, because you were at Western, and then how was Hard Rock? That seemed like it was really fun, and you were working with the Podium Global crew, right?
Yeah, those
Yeah.
guys are sweet. I actually met like the guy who owns it in Portugal like 3 years ago.
Oh,
So
no
that's how
way.
we connected. Yeah, I
Hmm.
haven't talked to him in like a couple years, and he just like hit me up. He's like, "Yo," and I was like, "Oh my god, we met in Portugal." That's so weird.
Wait, how did you guys meet in Portugal?
uh, I've had weird like one of my biggest jobs that came from someone like I met in Nepal too, which is just crazy. Um, how do we meet in Portugal? I was just traveling for like a couple months,
Mhm.
and we just met in a hostel, I think. Yeah, and then that was it. So random. Then we just stayed friends on Instagram, as one does. But Hard Rock was good. It was so fun. Like it's a hard race to shoot
Yeah,
because
it seems like it.
oh my god, it was yeah, it was a nightmare because you have like those back roads are gnarly. So
Yeah.
you're driving for like 3 hours on dirt roads just to go catch them for like
Two.
maybe a minute.
Yeah.
I think I shot three. We shot two mountain locations and then just the start and the finish. Like that's all you get.
Whoa.
That's all you get.
That's kind of crazy for, I mean, especially like it being 100-mile race. Like
Hmm.
that's pretty nuts.
Yeah, so it's like not a lot of photo opportunities. So you like really have to dial it in. So it's like it's really stressful, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it was a sweet race. Like, have you been up to Silverton, that area? You
Nope.
haven't?
I
Oh
haven't
my god.
really, I'm not gonna lie, I haven't spent any time in Colorado in the summertime because
What?
I know, but don't worry, I'll be in Leadville next week.
Okay. Oh my
But
god, it's like the
I'll
prettiest
be
place.
working, so it probably won't be like a ton of fun stuff. But yeah, it's really funny because like I just have such a hard time leaving the Pacific Northwest in the summer. Because I'm just like, why would I go like interior if I can just be in my lovely coastal mountains? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Pacific Northwest summers are nice.
I know. It's so lovely, but I do feel like I should probably be spending time in Colorado in the summer.
Yeah, that whole zone, like the San Juans, like Telluride, Ouray, like oh my god,
It's
it's so sick. So
yeah,
to be paid to go out there, I was psyched.
yeah. Well, and it just seems to like, yeah, I mean, the race is cool. It's different vibes for sure, which is fun.
Yeah, and my athletes, like all of them, like got top spots, so it was like really fun to shoot them.
Yeah, yeah. So with kind of, I mean, because you've kind of done a lot, like what jobs do you kind of feel like you lean more into, or just like sport in general too? Because I feel like I kind of started following your photography more from like the climbing stuff.
Mhm.
And then yeah, and then this summer you've done a ton of trail. Like, do you kind of have somewhere that you sit a little bit more, or like would like to be spending more time? And then I know there's like the adventure stuff too.
Yeah, I kind of just like I started out doing like the adventure stuff, and then all of a sudden I had like 10 trail running jobs, and I was like, okay, cool, this is like what we're gonna do.
Mhm.
Um, so those are the jobs that just like keep coming down the pipeline, but I am like trying to shift more into like the climbing expedition world. Like I'll take running jobs, they're fun, but like I'm not trying to actively seek them out these days.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely like pivoting like what I want to shoot, what's like put on my portfolio, and like so I have a bunch of climbing stuff just like lined up for the next couple weeks to like put out. Um but yeah, I want to do like more alpine stuff, bigger like 2 month long trips. Like that's the goal. Is to be out in those like places and be on like static lines and like shooting climbing and that's like what I love most is like being in those mountains.
Well, and how did you like? What is your alpine background? Like, how did you kind of jump into that
It's
whole
limited.
space?
My alpine background is like pretty limited. So like this summer, I've just been like trying to like climb as much as I can, shoot in those environments because it's like way different than shooting commercial running, right? You're just like documenting. So that's been like a big shift in like how can I still like bring this creativity but into like a documenting style, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because commercial you can like plan, a lot more. You can like pivot shots. So I've been trying to like figure out how to do that in that space. But yeah, my alpine background's like pretty limited. I like did not grow up in this world at all. I actually grew up in New York, Long Island.
Oh, wait, really?
Yeah,
Wait, okay, wait. So, but your family's not in Long Island
not
anymore.
anymore.
Okay.
We moved when I was like 12
Okay. So like half and half.
to Colorado, but like the suburbs of Colorado wasn't like in the mountains.
Okay.
Um, so I've been like trying to gain more skills in that environment. So I've been following like a bunch of trad this summer. Just been trying to like do skill swaps with like guide
Mm-hmm.
companies, even just like how do
Mm-hmm.
I rig like this line or like how do I build an anchor. Just learning those basics is like what I'm doing right now, so I can be competent in those environments. But yeah, I don't have a big alpine background, but I'm like trying to like gain competency in that area.
The last year of your life, you're living out of the Forerunner partially.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What is, I mean, like, what have the comings and goings looked like? Like, where have you been? What have you been spending? Like, where, how, yeah, yeah. Like a little rundown on that.
Where have I been? I've been to a lot of places. Honestly, mainly like a lot of Wyoming. There's intense sleep a couple times.
Mhm.
I was in Jackson for a little bit, California for a few jobs. Um, where else? I'm trying to think. I'm kind of blanking right now.
I know you start to add too many to the list, and then it you forget.
Yeah, and that's what's happening right now. I was in Bozeman. I was in Lander. So just like yeah, kind of that like
That
little
zone.
area of the states. Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I've been the last year has been kind of the last 6 months have been just like crazy for me. Like it
Mhm.
has picked up so much work wise and travel wise, and I spent like after parted ways with the business, I just like stayed in one spot for 4 months, just like figure my stuff out, which I'd never really done, and so I just like yeah, it was it was a long time. It was isolating too because I was just like at home with my parents,
Mhm.
and because I was living in a van. The van kept breaking, so I sold the van. So then I was basically like homeless. I was like, oh shit. My parents like, you can just like come here, and I just like delved headfirst in like career, and like didn't make time for friends, and so it was good. It was like 4 months to, like figure my shit out, but it was like definitely like a little lonely. And then like once summer hit, it was just like just like took off. I was traveling a lot, shooting a lot. It was like everything I've hoped for was like coming to
Mhm.
fruition the past 6 months, which has been like pretty epic.
Was there like, are there any things that you kind of, yeah, like in that 4 month period at the beginning that you were like, okay, like I really, I don't know if it's like a certain job or like a certain kind of client or like what were kind of those things that you're like, man, like I really hope that this ends up working out that then like has just totally come to be this summer.
Yeah, the craziest thing that happened. So once me and Maddie like parted ways, like I've always wanted to do expedition photography. That's kind of like where I'm like trying to go. And there's this expedition photographer who just takes the sickest photos. And I sent her an email in March, just like out of just cold email, like yo,
Mhm.
your work's like super sick, and like I'd love to like shadow you or whatnot. And she hits me back like 6 hours later, and I was like, no way. I was freaking out, like actually like freaking out. And like fast forward 6 months, like I literally just like went on a week long climbing trip with like her and a bunch of friends. Like I don't know, yeah, a week ago, and that was like the most surreal moment ever of just like putting in effort and like seeing it come to fruition. Yeah, that was like probably the coolest thing that's happened to me over like 6 months. Just like becoming friends with someone like I've looked up to for years. So yeah, that was pretty epic.
It's like the coolest feeling ever.
Yeah, it's
Honestly, I
weird.
think it's really weird and it's like really I think too there's like this I don't know totally how to describe it, but like I think it's weird too when you're kind of like jumping into some of these worlds where like you're like I know that this is the person that I kind of am and like I know that I probably could be friends with these kinds of people, but there's just that like that gap that has to be jumped.
Mm-hmm.
Um and then like when that actually comes where you're like, "Oh, like this isn't just like me thinking this could happen in my head. It's like no, like I actually like do belong here." And that's like a really good feeling.
Yeah, it's really weird though. It's like imposter syndrome. Like you're just like
Mhm.
sitting there like, how did I get here? You're like, do I deserve to be here? But yeah, it's like really cool to see the progression of that happen.
Well, and like, how do you kind of feel like you navigate the ups and downs that come with freelance? Like, there's kind of that whole side of it too, where like, it's just like it's last minute, people are changing their plans on you. You have to be able to be flexible. Like, how do you deal with that?
Um, Honestly, like thrive in that environment. I can't sit still and like I'm always just like trying to do new things and so like freelance is like perfect for me because it's always something new. Like I could get on a job tomorrow. I could fly out tomorrow on a job and I'd be so psyched. Like I love impromptu stuff. I think the hardest part though is like the money, obviously. I think everyone says that. Like yeah, I think that's the hardest part about freelance, but it's so rewarding because you're just like doing these sick things like every other week and you just never know what's going to come down the pipeline like tomorrow. So that's pretty exciting when you just like get an email out of the blue and you're like, oh, cool. I'm going to like wherever next week.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Yeah. It is fun because it's like you just don't totally know.
No, so I enjoy it. And I like the lull periods. Like that gives me time to like dial in like editing because it takes me so long. Like when I am super busy, it's like I can't produce work. So I do like when it like slows down, gives me time to like actually create and put in energy into like the backside of photography, like that the whole editing process. Um, so yeah, like it works for me. I enjoy it.
Mhm. How do you get into like what does your kind of like creative flow look like?
Gosh, it takes me so long to get into the flow. I don't know. It's so random. Like yes, it could be at like 11 p.m. and I'm just like, whoa, that's so sick. Or it could just be like in the morning. I try to have like if I'm home, like a little bit of a morning routine, and then I'll just
Mhm.
like try to work for like a chunk of time. Um, but typically it happens like if I'm like working on an edit and the edit is like going really well and like something sick is like happening, that's kind of just like I don't know, like sparks something in my brain or like and I just start creating like sick stuff. But yeah, I don't have like a. Some people can just like get into it. For me, it takes a really long time.
How would you kind of describe your style?
That's a good question. I don't know. Like my I keep telling people this, and I don't know if I should keep telling people this, but I don't think I'm a good photographer. I'm like really good at editing. Like most of the time, like that's a horrible photo. But I have like some wizardry in like Lightroom where like I just start cropping a ton and like adding a weird colors and eventually like looks cool.
Well, and how did you kind of pick up those skills? Like if you didn't learn it in a more of a traditional setting, like how did you was it YouTube teaching yourself? Like what were kind of the things that like actually got you to learn it?
Literally just like messing around like in Lightroom. I still like I don't know what I'm doing. Like I'm being like 100% honest. Like I literally just like I just mess with things until it looks cool. I've been editing for a friend of mine and I'll send him like the whole Lightroom catalog and he'll be like, "What the heck is this?" I literally can't like make any changes because it's so cryptic like what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like he's like, "How do you fix it?" I'm like, "I don't know. I really don't know." Like he's like that is not by the book. Like you did this with your shadows and like no one does that. I'm like, fuck, I don't know. It looks cool. It looks cool.
Yeah. That is hilarious. I love it though. I mean, like that's how you like create something different, right? Like you
Yeah.
don't by the book. Yeah.
Dude, it's just trial and error, and sometimes it works, and I think that's why I'm slow too. Is a lot of times it doesn't work.
Mhm.
So because I don't know what I'm doing, I'm just like messing around, and then eventually it looks cool. And sometimes it looks cool within an hour, and sometimes it takes like 5 days to like land
Mhm.
on something that I
Mhm.
like. But yeah, I don't know. My style's just like I don't know. It's a good question. Someone once told me it was like it's clean, but it's like gritty at the same time. I like that.
Yeah, no, I think that fits. Well, and I'd almost say it's like almost a little bit more like emotive, if that makes any sense. Of
Someone
like,
I've heard that a lot. It's like pretty
yeah.
cool actually.
Well, and I feel like especially with the way that you do your coloring, like the coloring is always kind of like honing in on some sort of like emotion from the scene. I don't know. That's kind of yeah,
Yeah.
that's my thought.
Yeah, I like to like hone in on like yeah, you're right, like overarching color for
Yeah.
the shoot.
Yeah.
So like I think the Hard Rock one was like greenish and then like yeah.
Hmm.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
that
thank you.
one looked really cool. The green was fun.
I appreciate that. Yeah, that
Mhm.
took a while too. I was going crazy. I was like, can I just land on something that looks cool?
Do you feel like you've worked with anybody in the last couple of months that's like pushed you in a different direction or like been somebody that's like, wow, like I really respect what they're doing. I want to try and kind of like hone that in a bit.
Yeah. You know Savannah Cummings.
Yeah.
So I got in contact with her. That's who I was talking about
Yeah.
earlier, and I was showing her some photos from Hard Rock, and
Mhm.
I'm pretty good at like tight shots.
Mhm.
I was like, dude, just like zoom out a bit and like work on showing like the whole story. And I
Mhm.
think for that series, I kind of like I changed my whole perspective of like you're right, like how do I try to like tell string along a whole story in a
Mm.
series of photos versus just like sick detailed shots.
Yeah.
So like even if you go from like the first post to the third post, it's like way different. The first post is like all
Mhm.
detailed shots, and then the third one it's like actually tries to tell more of a story.
Mhm.
Um, so that's been pretty cool of like having another person like critique my photos and be like, this is what you're lacking, this is what you need more of. And so that's been pushing me now of like, yeah, how do I present the whole series and make it cohesive and like you can tell a whole story. So yeah, that's been fun.
Yeah. Well, also like all the tight shots are so like trendy right now too. Like I kind of feel like that's what people are doing a lot of because it does look really cool and like, you know, it's like in comparison to a super far away shot. But then it's like you do need it and if you can string it together in a cool way, then it brings so much more context rather than like just a picture of somebody's like super zoomed in water bottle that looks the vibey.
Exactly. And I'm so good at that. So it's been really nice having someone else tell me, like, no, like, zoom out a bit. And like, you're right.
Yeah.
And
Get some
then,
landscape involved too.
exactly. And then
Yeah.
it's cool because then I think it tells a better story. Um, which I didn't know I needed that until someone told me that. I'm like, oh, yeah, you're totally right. Um, so that's been like fun to work with her and like hear other opinions on my photography because I don't really have that. So it's been cool just to be like, yo, look at my photos.
Yeah, and like I feel like depending on the person too, it's you're like you're not gonna have somebody just be like, oh yeah, you should, you know, people are hesitant to critique, I feel like.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll take any critique. I appreciate it.
Yeah, critiquing is good. That's how people grow. But yeah. 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 So what do you have like up on the next like 3 months? More
Um,
climbing, more shoots.
I actually don't have much planned, which I'm psyched about.
Hmm.
I have a shoot with Gooder next week. Sunglasses, just like a running campaign. Yeah, I might try to go spend like a month in Squamish. But yeah, that's the next 3 months for me. Just traveling around and then trying to find somewhere to like post up for the winter, I think, and then keep
Yeah.
traveling. it's like the best way to like meet people and shoot is just to be on the road.
What were you doing in Nepal?
Yeah, so me and Maddie had the production company, we just like let's go travel. So we just traveled for
Mm-hmm.
like
Mm-hmm.
4 months. Yeah. So we went to like we started in the Philippines. Our whole like goal was like let's just go surf and learn how to surf. So we went to the Philippines for like a month, and then we went to Indonesia, and then we kind of were over the whole Southeast Asia thing. It's kind of
Mm-hmm.
like, have you been over there?
Mm-mm.
It's like a big, it's fun, but like it's fun if you like to party, and we're just
That's
like,
kind of the vibe that I was getting. That's why
yeah.
I haven't been yet.
And so yeah, and so we just like that's not our vibe. We just like want to surf and want to do things. So we were like, let's just go to Nepal. So we jump ship to Nepal. Was there trekking?
Mm-hmm.
Did like a 5 day trek up. I don't even know what the peak is, but it's pretty cool because there's like tea house. Have you been in Nepal?
Mm-mm.
Okay, there's like little tea houses. So you just like trek up to the tea house, you sleep there. They cook you food, it's super cheap, and then you just like keep
Mm-hmm.
trekking. So that was a cool experience, and then we went to Portugal all on the same trip. Um,
Got it. Okay, okay. So
yeah,
4 months of fun travel. Were you guys doing production things, or was it just like we should just become better friends and go travel?
kind of. So yeah, we filmed that whole trip. You will probably never see an ounce of content from that whole trip. Um, yeah, I think we were lost. We didn't really know what we wanted to do. Like
Mm-hmm.
it was like, do we try the social media route? Do we make reels? Do we like make a short film? And like it became really taxing to like try to film everything while you're traveling. And
Mm-hmm.
so we just came out of it literally with nothing. But it was like sick trip nonetheless. Like, oh my god, I want to go back
Yeah.
to Nepal at least, and maybe the Philippines.
And also, like, if there's not like a really clear vision for like what you're trying to produce, I feel like especially if you're doing like short form stuff,
Mhm.
it becomes impossible to actually like make it into something.
Yeah, exactly. And so it became like that was honestly that trip was stressful too. Feel like we were just like butting heads of being like, do we film this? Do we film that? Like, yeah, because there's like you're saying, there's no direction. Like,
Mm.
do we want to do reels? Okay, if you're doing reels, you're like, are you vlogging everything? Like, do
Yeah.
I want to be vlogging everything? I don't think so. Like, no, I don't want to do that. But you're like doing cool things, so you like feel obligated to do that. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so I think like the shift there is like I really only pick up a camera now, like when I have a project, which is like so nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Kind of keeping it more in its work context.
And a
Yeah.
lot of like that production company, like again, we didn't have clear direction, so yeah, it just became stressful of like, do we shoot our everyday lives and like just yeah, it became I like started to hate it, which is like so not good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Just
But yeah,
just like having to pick up the camera kind of hate it, or like hate it just in like in what sense?
I just like felt yeah, I just felt pressured in like every scenario to like shoot, and I was just like not psyched. Um, Especially when you're shooting for like, cause like we were doing a lot of social media stuff, and so like when you're trying to shoot your everyday life, for me it just became like a chore, and I was just like not stoked. I was like, no, I want to like shoot like projects and have like you're saying a goal and a direction. So I can spend a week doing that versus like I just would sit there feeling guilty. Like, do I need to pick up a camera right now? Like,
Mm-hmm.
do I need to be like working? Like, we're climbing right now. We're doing something cool. Is this something I need to be documenting? I don't know. And so it came with like a lot of.
Okay, yeah, no, that totally makes sense. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Well, and it also kind of almost like then begs the question too, where like if you're doing something cool and you happen to be filming it, it's one thing. But then if it's like flip flopped of like I am doing this cool thing because I have to be filming it, it
Mhm.
like is I feel like that's not the headspace to be in.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was like starting to happen, and I feel like my job was an influencer. Like I'd be psyched on it, but I just like wasn't psyched. So
Yeah. Yeah. The not quite influencer but could be influencer, and yeah, no, that's not it's super fun.
yeah,
Yeah.
and that's the line we were like kind of riding on. It was like social media could be full time, but also like wasn't full time, and so like there's this like weird fine line of like it's not our job, but it could be. So that's why I just felt like obligated all the time to be shooting to like make it in that space.
What were you posting this through? Were you posting it through Instagram
You
or
won't
what?
ever see it. It's all like archived. Yes, I had a TikTok phase, okay?
So this was all TikToking.
Yeah, like that's actually how I got part of my start in this world was
Really? It was all wait, okay, what's that story?
okay. Yeah, in college, like I grew like a decent following on TikTok. Like that was like I'm
Wait,
embarrassed, okay?
what were the videos? Were they just like
Just straight no. They were just like outdoorsy. Like here's my photography. This is what I
Okay.
do. There were
Got
like
it.
some like outdoorsy thirst traps. Like not
Got it.
like a little bit. Like look at me. I'm cute. I'm climbing. Whatever.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
Oh,
That.
those traps. Mhm.
Uh, yeah. Not my proudest moment. But yeah, like that's like where I got like my start too of like seeing the like what's the word I'm looking for? Um I don't know. Help me here. Like
Like the world that you could be in.
yeah, I
Like
was seeing like
that.
positive feedback from it. And
Okay. Yeah.
yeah. And I was like, "Oh, wow, like this is something I could like see myself doing." So yeah, I had my little TikTok phase and then like we transferred over the account to the production company and like just started like
Oh,
posting a bunch. And so we got like some jobs through there. And so
yeah.
that's why we're like riding that line of like, could this be a job? Could this not be? But yeah,
Mhm.
if you go look, you probably I've archived like most of
Mhm.
the good stuff.
Why did you archive it? Was it just like I just
Oh,
don't
it's
need this
cringy as hell.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, it's just like I like respect my old self for like just putting myself out there. Like
Yeah.
it worked. I was like, wow, like it's pretty cool. Looking back on it now, I like do not want to associate myself with that.
Mhm.
um, yeah, not saying I would never like do like obviously reels is like how you grow as a photographer, but those type of reels, I just like
Not the way that you needed to be growing.
yeah, I don't
Yeah.
want to like yeah. So I'm a little embarrassed to be honest.
Yeah, but you know what? That's how, you know what? Life is like test trial, and it obviously was something that helped get you to where you are now. So,
Totally.
it really matter. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. Like I could have been a full blown like influencer. Like that literally could have been my job, which is like
That's
crazy.
pretty nuts, actually. Wait,
Yeah,
how many TikTok followers did you have?
it wasn't a lot. It was like 25,000.
Okay. That's still
So
like a decent amount, though. That's like a decent amount that could have gotten a lot bigger.
yeah, so it was like funny because it was during COVID when this like it was like during the TikTok gold mine. Like
Oh, okay.
this was like right when TikTok was a big thing and everyone was posting and like if you were consistent and you had decent reels, like you were
Mhm.
just like freaking exploding. And so like there was this group of people that were probably like similar to like they were doing similar things that what I was doing. And when I stopped, like all of these people just like exploded and like that's still their
Oh,
job.
yeah.
So it's kind of crazy to like see like the trajectory of like where they went and like what could have
Mhm.
been, which I'm glad it's not, but
Mhm. Well, and also, like, in a weird sense, I feel like social media is slightly, you know, a little bit of, like, luck, but then it's also crazy because it is something that, like, you can kind of see and it's like, "No, this is linear." Like, if you do put in this much time and this much effort, like, that's probably where you're gonna grow and be at.
yeah, totally. I was like serious about it. Like I was like, you know, like brainstorming like videos and like posting every week and like it was pretty cool though to like see like actually grow something. I've never experienced that. Like
Mhm.
whoa, it was like so rewarding to like see your work and then like you're just like, whoa, people like this. Like people
Yeah.
resonate. It was so weird, honestly.
Yeah. Well, and if you had kept going that path, what would you have kept up with? Like, was it gonna be
Who
more
knows?
travel or was it gonna be like what was kind of the thought process if you went that route?
Yeah, I mean, I was like posting photography stuff, so I think that was like always like where I was heading. But yeah,
Mhm.
I think it would have been like a lot more like travel-y, maybe like climbing, but probably not as hardcore of like the stuff I want to do now.
Mhm.
But that was like what was selling back then too.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, just like look at me, like I'm gonna travel the world, and that's like was a dream of mine for so long, was to travel the world. And then I traveled for 4 months and was like, actually, like this isn't. I like traveling, don't get me wrong, but like that style of traveling is just not for me.
Mhm.
Like I
Yeah.
need to be like doing something.
No, I think that's the thing that I learned because I spent I've spent a lot of time just like traveling, and there's a difference between like aimless traveling and like, oh, actually I'm gonna go travel and do this for like a reason or even for like a job. And I think that that's something that I've kind of learned that I'm like I actually really prefer it if it's like
Dude, yeah.
travel, like not travel with intention, like you can go and go to the Philippines and have a whole itinerary and stuff like that, but like I kind of got to the point that I was like, like I'd much rather be coming and like working alongside people that are like, I don't know. It's a different experience for sure.
Yeah,
Especially
totally.
like, yeah, especially just like, and even too, I think something that I've thought about a lot recently, like, is just kind of the sense of almost like belonging in what you're doing in a way
Mhm.
where it's like if you're like I'm gonna just be nomadically traveling for the next like year or two, it's like you kind of put yourself in that box of like, okay, I actually really don't have roots to anything. And like if you do have a home base, you kind of you can lean your identity into that a bit too. Or if you're doing it for work, it's like, yeah, I'm like traveling, but then also like I'm doing this other stuff and like building towards something bigger too.
Totally. That was like what tripped me up about traveling for 4 months, like aimlessly. Like it was great, but you're just like, it was hard to be fulfilled in a like, yeah. It's just, I don't know. It's like a weird feeling. I guess it's a very privileged feeling though.
Oh,
You're just like, yeah, I'm just traveling for 4 months, and I kind of feel not fulfilled, but I'm kind of
but it's
like
like kind of
living it.
fun,
Yeah,
sort
you're
of.
like having a time of your life, but
Yeah, you're like, I am having the time of my life, but like also I'm not having the time of my life, and it's like it's a weird headspace to be in.
yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
yeah.
So that's why I'm like trying to pivot, and like expeditions feels like so perfect because it's
Hmm.
you're just like thrust into the culture, but you're also like, you're working and you're shooting, and like that feels way more fulfilling to me.
I can't believe this TikTok thing though. That's crazy. As somebody
Yeah,
that's
it's like pretty
never
hush hush.
really had even a TikTok account.
Don't download it and don't go look at my name. I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna go delete my account right now because this is like public information now.
I love it though.
No, I'm so embarrassed.
Uh,
It barely gets brought up when it does. It's pretty funny.
yeah. Well, and now I imagine it's like, do you ever get people that are like, "Oh, I think I've seen one of your
Yeah.
TikToks."
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. In what
It
context?
doesn't happen as much because everything's pretty old. But
Mhm.
like when I first moved to Bozeman, I worked at REI for like 4 months
Mhm.
and just like part time. And I literally like second day there, I run into this girl. She's like, "Oh my god, I see you're on TikTok," and I'm like, "Shut up! This is not how I want to start living in Bozeman." Like,
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
and it's one of those things of like, how much do you know about me, and I don't
Oh,
know about you, and like,
yeah.
but it was cool. I was like, "Oh, that's fun."
Mhm. Yep. Yep. Um, well, we can kind of wrap this up a little bit too.
Sweet.
What is a piece of advice that has stuck with you? Or a piece of advice that you would just give people in general?
Um, I think there's like two that come to mind. One that's like pertaining to creativity is like just post your work, just get it
Mm,
out there. For like so long, I didn't post my work, and I was wondering why I like wasn't getting work.
mm,
And
mhm,
then and like also the more you post, like the better your stuff becomes. Because you're not just like sitting on stuff like waiting for it to be good. You just like you're getting more reps in. So
mhm.
that's like my biggest piece of advice. Like someone told me that I got hired for a job, and he's like, "I didn't even know you're a photographer. Like, start posting." I started posting. It's been like
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
And then second piece of advice I would give that I like try to do a lot is like just put myself out there. in situations that I like maybe like how did I get here? But like I'm always DMing people like all the time. People I don't even know. I'm just like, hey, like let's grab coffee, and that's been like huge in my career. It's just like linking up with like people I don't know. Yeah, I do that a lot, and that's like gotten me into some crazy situations where I'm like, whoa, this is cool.
Amazing, amazing takeaways. DM more people.
Yeah, more people, email more people, cold emails.
Yeah, yeah. Beautiful. Well, I'll stop recording there. Thanks so much for tuning in today. Make sure to go and check out Nicole's work, and I hope that everybody has a lovely rest of their week.